Wow. That's awesome. Look at them. Swordtails, mollies, little neon tetra in the back. Oh, what are these? Corydorus?
No, these are featherfin cynodontis.
That's awesome.
I'll do a little spoken intro if you want.
So, Joel, here we are again then, mate. Yeah, so after seeing Joel doing his ponds, of course, my experience with Joel has always been with tropical fish. So I've come along today and Joel's going to give us a bit of a tuition on a customer's fish tank. So, yeah, what we got then, Joel?
So I received a call a few weeks ago from Dan, who's had this fish tank for a while now, but it was struggling with the maintenance. And when we came down, there was literally, the pump was making a noise, but there was no water flow at all. So since then we've cleaned the filter out and bought us a bit more time so we can work out what we're going to do with these fish. Now, everybody understands the therapeutic benefits of keeping a fish tank, but they're not so therapeutic when you're chasing your tail with maintenance and you've got a combination of fish that might not bring the best out of each individual fish. So as you can see, the tank's very, very busy. We've got a bit of cleaning to do today to sort of spruce it up, but we are going to reduce about 70 to 80% of the fish in here. And this will give us an opportunity to start to plan the tank carefully in terms of making sure that there's the right fish, the right combination, and to make sure that it's not overstocked so that we can keep up with the maintenance and enjoy the joys of fish keeping without feeling like you're fighting a losing battle. Yeah. So let's go, let's do this.
Yeah. What filter have we got?
We've got we've got Fluval 407.
Okay, nice.
A really nice compact canister unit. We'll service that later on, so we'll see the insides and outs of that. And I say it's a lovely tank. It's got the open top, really nice LED light. But as I say, we've got a little bit of jazzing up to do.
It's Bluetooth as well.
Oh, is it Bluetooth?
Disco. Okay, so because we're going to be moving some fish, we want to make sure they're in bags for as little time as possible. So we're going to do the majority of the algae cleaning at the start. So we're going to clean all the sides of the tank, and then we'll remove the rocks. And then that'll give us full access to then try and catch the fish nice and safely and calmly. And then we can see what we've got left to play with. Okay. And then as we start to reassemble the tank, we can build the rocks in a formation that's going to look really nice. And then so we can plant the new plants in there, and then we'll explain what the vision is in terms of which fish are going to be living in here permanently.
Right, okay.
And then to kickstart the algae cleaning process, I've got my friend here.
What's this? This
is like probably one of the best algae magnets on the market. It's by a brand called Higer. Super strong magnets. There's an attachment here, which means that you can place a blade on there. Ooh. And it means then as the magnet's pulling in, it scrapes the algae off in a nice smooth motion. It comes with this card, and it's very important to make sure that while you're storing it, that you always keep this pad there, because
the magnet is so strong.
The magnet's so strong. If they were to touch without that card, when you try and separate it, it peels off the lining. So really important that they don't touch.
Right, and how much did that one set you back, buddy?
I think they're about 35 quid, something like that, off Amazon, or available on other websites.
Okay, that's awesome.
Right, we'll give that a go. As you can see, if you look at the top there's a lot of build-up of green algae.
Yeah, along the back there.
And green algae is like tattoos onto the glass, so we could be there forever scraping that.
Oh, well, I'll best set up the time with that.
Lovely.
much better time lapse. The last time I did that, I think we filmed an hour and a half, and it ended up being 30 seconds. So yeah, we're just gonna let all of this settle down to the bottom there, and then I suppose you'll be able to siphon it up whilst you're doing the water change.
Exactly, yeah. So we're going to change about 50% of water in the process of cleaning this up. And obviously we'll lose some of the water from bagging some of the fish that are going as well. But what we'll probably do is do the water change and then turn the filter on before we then move the fish.
Golden nugget.
Stunning.
Look at that. Nice. If I just missed you doing that. Whenever I used to siphon, I always got a mouthful of fish water.
Part of the fun, extra protein.
It is. So it's actually leaving the sand in the bottom and just filtering up all the fish poo. Oh, that's pretty cool, that is.
I always say to them, like to my clients, please don't tell my missus just how much hoovering I do at work.
Well, it's on film now, mate. It's on film now.
It could be a towel.
No, this.
Yeah, that's perfect, mate. Spot on.
Oh, you got a filter.
I mean, if you need more, I want more.
What I'm going to try and do is get that to the rock bucket if we can. So it's got to stay dry, but it's going to drain a little bit. There we go. You all right?
Yeah, you're in.
Lovely. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, of course, mate. It's part of it.
So Fluvels are recognised as one of the best aquarium brands. They're really, really clever at making quite nice compact units that have got a good flow rate. Now you can see here, this is, believe it or not, a vast improvement to what we found the last time we cleaned this filter. Let's say when Dan called us, there was solid soil. Every single sponge had to be replaced, and we managed to restore all the bacteria that's in there, all the biomax and that. So we're just going to take these sponges and clean them in the water from the tank, and then reassemble the unit and get it back going to help us clear up some of this dusty mess that we've kicked up. All right?
Yeah, boy. Oh, I can do that bit. I remember doing that. You always clean your filters in fish water as well. You don't want to use normal tap water because it will kill everything off. So Joel once taught me.
That's right.
It's amazing you never really forget.
No.
When you take an interest in something, especially like me, I've become a sponge and literally soak in all that knowledge. So, and the way you explain things, Joel, is perfect. Oh. I'm pretty sure there'll be quite a few viewers that may learn a thing or two from you.
Brilliant. One of the things we're really passionate about at AquaTick Solutions is education. If any clients are willing to learn what they need to do in order to keep on top of their tank, then we'll train them. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's pretty good there, mate. Oh, is this the bio media?
Yes, yeah, no, we have got a few chambers short because we had to discard some of the pads that were in there. So we've just got the one chamber of biomax at the moment. So it's just a little gentle rinse to get some of the big bits of debris, but we want to keep that nice and moist. So, and then at the bottom we've got some sponges here as well. And these sponges, are not too bad. These were absolutely solid last time.
Look at the colour of that water now.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Tasty.
Yeah, soup. Some nice broth from the poorhouse.
Right. The beautiful thing about these filter systems is that each chamber you can customise. Obviously they produce standardised bits of media that go in each chamber, but again, according to whatever setup you've got, you can put your own things in there. So again, there's loads of different types of biological filter media.
And these are just little ceramic things, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they're quite porous, but you can get some that are even more porous than this. And the more porous they are, the more bacteria they hold. And then you've got sacks that you can put your carbon in there. You can put your nitrate pads, phosphate pads, anything like that. to make it as sophisticated as possible. But it's got to be right for you. Most of these filters come with these tiny little fine pads, which are like for water polishing. They catch all the smallest particles of dirt and debris in the water and keep it nice and clear. Downside to that is they get clogged up very quickly if you've got a lot of fish. So if you've got a densely stocked fish tank or with large fish that are quite messy, we generally recommend not using those and then maximising on the biological media.
Yeah, nice. I just noticed this little fella here with all the colours on him. You see him? This little fin up.
The corridor?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's some lovely cories in here. Really nice mix. We're going to keep the cories. Yeah, so so the red one goes down to lock them in place, and then this one releases or opens up both pipes, and you can hear it trying to draw water in. It's going to kick out quite a lot of crap in the way.
Oh,
that's all right.
that's not too bad. Well done, mate.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good stuff, that.
Put it back on.
You clever sausage.
Rained on though. So now it's we've had to put some water in, as I say, to make it easier to catch the fish and to improve the water clarity so we can see what we're doing.
No, that isn't exactly 101 fish practice there,
Not
but under the circumstances,
it wouldn't have been right to bag these fish up in the sediment-rich water that was in there before. So we've left it now to settle, filter through. The heater's back on. Everything's readjusting nicely. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start bagging up, catching each fish in their individual species. Now we're going to talk population problems.
Go for
whilst
it.
We're here. So you can see there's the majority of the fish in here are these lovely little black lyre-tail mollies. Now mollies are a type of fish that breeds and very, very readily. They give birth to live babies almost on a monthly basis. And you can see this is a direct result of a booming population. I normally say to people, safe for sex is no sex. So if you don't want to have a population problem, then either keep males or keep females, and then that way you can keep on top of it. But the local store has said that they'll take these in, which is brilliant. And as I say, then we've got a lot more space to play with in terms of getting fish that Dan wants to see in his tank, rather than having an abundance of something that was not what he wanted to have in there. There's a few ways and strays that are going as well. So there's a solitary rhombus barb just coming through here in the back corner.
Yeah, the stripey.
And then the 3 Cynodontus catfish, which again we said were not ideal for this tank size.
They're meant for big tanks.
Big tanks, yeah.
But we are going to leave the nugget.
Of course.
Star of the show.
Right, so when we're bagging fish, it's very important that you only have a little bit of water in there, and this helps to improve the exchange of oxygen from the bag into the water. If you have too much water, then it's just not as comfortable for them. If you roll down the sides of the bag to trap the air, it will stay nice and afloat. Always suggest to use 2 nets when catching fish. It's like herding sheep. It shouldn't be, like Willy Coyote chasing the roadrunner or whatever. It should be nice and calm, trying to cause as little stress as possible for the fish. So the first fish we're going to go for is the barb, and as you can see, it's just coming out over here. Now we use black nets because they're harder for the fish to see. They're not quite as stressful for them.
Yeah,
you can see they're all going to be quite. So what we normally do is have one net that's flush with the glass, and then the other net is basically to lead them in the right direction. So you can see here we're slowly getting them there.
Like that, and wow.
Oh, almost. Ooh, okay, a little edit.
I suppose you've had loads of practice whilst you were working at the local pet stop.
That's
shops.
right, yeah.
We won't mention the name.
Once we're in the net, I usually use my hand on the outside of the glass to keep them in the net, and then reverse the net into the bag, and then there we go.
As easy as that.
As easy as that. What we'll do is we'll bag this one up, and then we'll put a time lapse on for the rest of them, because it's going to take a little bit longer.
It certainly is.
But again, you usually use a band, elastic band to hold the nut in place. fold down the bag and trap as much air as you can in there. This will really help make the transport a lot more comfortable for the fish.
There you go. Lovely. Oh, there's one.
There we go.
Right, I'll set up this time lapse because this could take a little while.
Mountain, acid, very deep, town, 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 town,
A shrimp. What are you top of the net? Cool. Yeah, like him.
Now, these have got quite sharp pectoral and dorsal spikes. So there's side fins and their top fins. You can see the spike on them there. So they're a bit tricky to bag.
You've got a
And handle. You've got to be careful handling these guys.
yeah. I think I remember getting stabbed by one of them.
Yeah. And these pierce the bag.
He has, isn't he?
Straight away.
Pierce the bag. It's probably going to be safer that Joel moves these by truck. They are going to be the first to be delivered off, but they're just going to pierce a hole in the bag, and then their fins are going to get caught in the plastic, and it's just not worth putting them through the stress. So we're going to do it old school.
That's it. This is. Ideally, I should have used a darker truck, but. Lovely.
What work you attaching the plant to?
Not sure yet. We'll have a play with that in a bit.
Towel over the truck, keep it dark, not to stress the fish. Probably about 30 mollies and one barb. Lovely. Ooh, plants. Lots of plants. What we got then, Joe?
So it's quite a nice selection, but today we're looking out for something that we can graft onto the rocks that the client's got in his tank.
Okay.
So we're looking for something like an anubias, and anubias is something that grows very much like ivy. It will literally crawl over anything that stands in its way. We've got some big broad-leafed anubias here, which we don't really want to go for. We want something with a smaller leaves. If we can
That
find it.
Anubias, we used to have that in our tank at Northampton Road, didn't we?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because you used to be able to separate it and move it into bits.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And then we want to get some grasses from around the other side as well, just to try and create a bit of a scape. So we'll have a little play, see what we can find.
I'll have a quick look at the grasses. Or should you have a little pick about?
I've never actually played with this one before. It's not doing great. It's quite big, isn't it?
That is, yeah.
It's a shame. We really wanted the dwarf Anubias. The dwarf Anubias has got smaller leaves, and it would just look better around the rocks. So we might end up going for the other Anubias, the Barteri Nana, just because it's the new leaves it produces will be smaller. So we'll have to rock the big leaves for now, and then let's see which one we can find with the most growth sites.
Ooh. It's moist.
They're quite small, really.
They will grow. Decisions.
It's always harder choosing for a client than it is for yourself.
Yeah.
Might go with this one because it's got a nice new leaf coming through on it. You can see the paler leaf there, that's the direction of growth. So we try when we put it into the tank to get it to be growing in that same direction, and then it should continue its sustained growth there. So we'll go for that one, and we'll go have a look at the grasses.
Okay, I'll grab your jacket.
I don't know if I have to do a little crypt as well for the foreground. With these are the potted plants. They're a cheapest price point because they're normally underdeveloped roots, but it's still worthwhile looking, if you can, to see which plant is starting to sprout some roots, because then you know it's going to transition a lot better. These all look very, very similar, not a great deal on them.
That one there had a few little tailors underneath. The one, yeah, that one there. But then this first one had
The
a few
first one
tailors.
did as well, yeah.
Saw that. Was it?
This one, yeah.
That's the one. That one there.
Yeah.
So it's just starting.
So we can go for 2. Yeah, let's go for immediate impact. Let's go for the 2.
Okay.
And I think we'll keep the foreground clear. You can add some. You can add something else in the future.
Yeah, I think that's good enough.
So first step first, before we put the new plants in, we're going to trim the outer leaves of this beautiful Amazon sword. As you can see, some of the older leaves have become quite raggedy, and there's a very light algal film on the leaves, which is kind of suffocating the plant. So the beautiful thing about these is that as long as the main crown in the middle is still producing new leaves, then you can pretty much take off more than 50% of the leaves, and it will bounce back really nicely. But this will be contributing to a lot of the leaf litter in the tank.
Just be naturally shedding.
Yeah.
Just notice these as well. And I used to have loads of these. These are coolie loaches. Khuli.
How can we wash it? We'll give them a little rinse in the water from the tank.
Rock formation. Take one.
So now we've got essentially a blank canvas to play with. We've, as I say, freed up both of the echinodoras, the sword plants there.
Yeah, you realised there was another one on there.
Yeah, it's got 2 for 1 there. Brilliant. So we're going to separate them so they're not competing with each other as much, and it gives us a bit more to break up the rock work. Now this is all the rocks that we've got here, which is a fantastic collection. These are fantastic rocks as well because of all the little grooves and holes in them. It means that if you do want to graft moss or any like Anubias that we're going to be playing with later, it's a great surface for them to play on. Now just here we're looking at making a nice cave. So we're going to use both of the nice bits at the front, these at the back, and then there's a lovely piece at the back here to offer a nice backdrop so that it can actually be an exclusive cave. So we're going to go with that. But before we put the hardscape in, I'm going to plant the background plants. So if you join us over here,
here's what we got earlier.
So we've got this. This is the twisted Vallis, Vallisneria spiralis. Really, really nice, easy to keep grass. I think they're fantastic for the background. They send off little runners, and quite quickly you can get a natural wall at the back of the tank. Now what we do with these is we
very, very carefully try to separate them, because each one of these will be in individual little bundles like that. And if you keep them together, they'll get quite competitive. So as you can see, very immature roots, but there is plenty of food in there for them. So actually this one's only got 2 clusters, but still really, really, really nice. And then just see if we can separate this one as well. As you can see, I've got a big lump of some plant weights, which we'll use just
lead, isn't it?
And well, they don't make it from lead anymore, but yeah, it's like an alloy that's similar to lead. It just gives it enough, it's dense enough to weigh the plants down, but it's non-toxic. This one's got a few more in it, which is nice. A little baby one.
Yeah, that's got some good. That's got better roots
Rest
than the
others, yeah.
Yeah, strange.
There we go. So there you go. So from 2 little clumps, now you can see how we can actually space these out along the back corner there to make sure that we've got a nice backdrop that will be forming. This one here is the Anubias barteri nana, which is one of these like ivy-like species that we were saying about earlier. Now these are better not to be buried in the gravel or the sand, because they will.
Yeah, I remember when you got me some, they actually went into me lava rock.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, lava rock's another great surface for them to grow on. And what we have to do is just take off this rock wool. This is just to help them to grow them at the nurseries. But once you take them home, they don't really fill a purpose. So you can liberate the roots, and it does, yeah, it relieves a little bit of mess in the tank. So we get as much of this off as we can. You can normally just separate the roots, and then they'll release little clumps as they go along.
Nice. It's like when you get chewing gum in your afro.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
You
I remember those days. Okay, so we're going to utilise a bit of the foam that it comes with, just to sort of nurse the roots, or cushion the tightness of the weight.
So basically, you've just taken that plant that you've bought from the shop and separated it into its smaller little pieces so they don't compete with each other. Doubled the amount that you've got to Aquascaped, I think.
Yeah.
That is some clever thinking there, mate.
I mean, these will need loosening within a few weeks, so I'm just going to leave them like that for now, and then by the time they've grown for a few weeks, you'll find that they will send off little runners, and then that will then spread, and you'll get new ones popping up. So this is just because they're so immature. That's why they're nice and cheap and cheerful.
Should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area. Fascinator, dedicated to movie and sense we forfeit this suit. I wanna pay tribute to a living legend. Word up.
Look at that. Joel. Aquascaped to perfection, mate. I forgot how good you were.
Nah, don't be daft.
No, look at it.
No, it's a good turnaround to where it was, because as I say before, there was just clusters of rocks piled on top of each other or in the corners, and the Amazon sword was just smothered in algae. So it's great we've been able to liberate both of those, space them out, give them the nice space to sort of do their thing, really. We've tried to create a few caves, because we've got there's two plex in here. There's this beautiful clown pleck and golden nugget.
There's a coolie loach sitting in the cave.
Lovely.
Lovely.
And then Dan wanted a bridge. So again, we've just created this arrangement here in the middle. And as you can see, the grass at the back is going to look lovely. By the time that starts to stretch up and run across, it's going to really take effect. We've added some more cardinal tetras to the group. So we've got the aim in this tank is to try and counter the arrangement that was there before. So one of the common mistakes people make when they're choosing to keep fish is that they go for like a variety, but each individual fish, you've got to think we're putting them into this tiny little box and expecting them to sort of to get on well with each other. The best way you can get fish to display sort of social happiness is to keep them in their right desired groups. So by keeping the cardinals in the larger group, we should start to see them exhibit their normal behaviour. You've got this swimming wall of blue and red, will really contrast the oranges of the cherry barbs and the swordtails there.
It's a good choice there, mate.
And then we've got some really nice fish on the horizon. So you know, stay tuned, because I say next time we come and visit this tank, we're going to have some nice new additions, and then we'll be able to explain in more detail the importance of getting the right mix of fish in your tank,
and creating that community tank,
a proper community. Yeah. As I say, one of the things that fish are faced against in the tank is competition, and if you eliminate excessive competition between different species, you see them start to like really thrive. So really looking forward to seeing how this tank's going to settle as it grows and as the fish settle in. But yeah, really pleased.
Yeah, man, and this is what you've always wanted to do, Joe. This is the fish tank business, from doing it in retail to becoming your own man, doing what you love with your pride, and just being here with you today. You can really tell the enthusiasm and joy that you have in doing this, and it reflects well on your work, mate.
So that was the problem with retail. Their hands are tied. You know, they've got there's a limit to the service they can provide, and what I always wanted to do was to extend that service into people's homes, into people's businesses, into care homes, schools, because I think the best way you can engage people with fish is to talk about fish, understand what fish are like, what their needs are, how to meet their needs, and then you can enjoy the aesthetic beauty of it. You know, you can enjoy the therapeutic benefits of it, but as long as the fish are happy and you've got the maintenance on a routine. So this is why I left retail to do what I'm doing now, and as I say, we do a really good subscription service, so we can come and we will service your filters, do a nice water change, algae clean, make sure everything's ticking over okay, and then we also do consultations. So if you're thinking about having a fish tank, again, Christmas is just around the corner.
And fish aren't just for Christmas, they're for life.
They are for life, but again, like if you are in the fortunate position to get a new fish tank, then please get in touch at the earliest possible stage, because we can use our 20 years worth of experience to help make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that a lot of people make when they come to keeping fish. And there's nothing worse than seeing these beautiful guys suffer. So yeah, we'll work with you to get you what you want to look at, what you want to see, and we'll teach you everything you need to know to look after it yourself, or as I say, you can use our subscription service to help you to look after it.
That's amazing, Joel. Well done, mate. And to all the viewers, I'll see you all again in the future. Love and light with a whole heap of unity.